Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're Steve and Audra.
And home is where you park it, and Oregon has been our home for over a month now. Sadly, this episode we're wrapping things up and saying goodbye to Oregon, but before we leave, we want to share one last amazing area with you guys. But shh, don't tell anybody, it's a secret. In 2023, we sold our house and started traveling with our cat full-time on our self-converted Ford Transit camper van. This past April, we made our way up the East Coast from Florida, spent a few months crossing the country, and have been very slowly making our way down the Pacific coast, starting in Washington, and making our way south to California. We have been amazed by the beauty we have experienced along the way.
Southeast. Continue on US 101 south for 11 miles.
Well, good morning, you guys, from the southern coast of Oregon.
Good morning.
We woke up to a beautiful scene this morning, and we still can't get over the fact that we can just park and enjoy these amazing places along the coast. It just seems still too good to be true after all these weeks. We're just constantly amazed by it.
In a quarter mile, you will arrive at your destination.
Yesterday we spent the majority of our day at Port Orford. Most of that was at the library, but we did have a little bit of time in the afternoon to check out a couple beaches. We went to Agate Beach, where I think I finally found some agates. They were tiny, tiny, but I think I found some of those and a few other really pretty tiny little stones. Then we went to Battle Rock, which was pretty cool. But the crazy thing was, in typical coastal Oregon fashion, at the first beach, it was all sunny. We drove just a few minutes to the next spot and the clouds were rolling in as soon as we left the first beach. It was pretty wild. So it's always neat to see. We enjoyed being at that spot and just seeing the scenery and again, those clouds moving in. Before that, we made a stop to see the Cape Blanco Lighthouse. We had some lunch and mostly stayed in the van because it was blow you down windy. Oh my gosh. Wow. I think that's the windiest I've ever been in. Also, since there are no Planet Fitnesses around the area, I washed my hair in the sink. And then last night we found a pull-off on 101 and spent the night and then woke up to beautiful views. Now this morning we are at Sisters Rock State Park. It's easy to miss on 101. It's just a pull off here. Actually, I think there's two. There's one for a little bit further north, and then here where we are at the South Point. And I think it's just an easy hike down to the beach, and it looks pretty cool. "13 miles north of Gold Beach, Sisters Rock State Park is an obscure coastal gem named for 3 monoliths, 2 connected to the mainland and 1 standing tall a little ways out to sea. The sisters are surrounded by long stretches of undeveloped beaches and numerous sea stacks, a picture of raw beauty shaped by wind and wave over thousands of years. fantastic here. I'm glad I read about this spot. You see that? That's like picture perfect. It's like dreamy with all the mist and all the sea stacks. That is perfect. All right, you guys. So I could be wrong, but I think there's actually a little cave right in there that you can go to, and I think the water comes in. So we got to go check it out and see if that's what I think it is.
It's pretty cool. If you listen closely, you can hear the water splashing in the cave. Check that out. Wow, how cool is that?
This natural tunnel and cave-like passage demonstrates the power of the waves, as wave after wave came roaring in, creating giant splashes. When the tide is low enough, you can walk through the tunnel and see rock walls that reveal layers shaped by constant tidal action, and shallow pools often collect along the edges, offering glimpses of small marine life. Down near the shoreline, it was neat to be able to see the openings of the tunnel where the waves were being pushed in. We love when nature puts on a show like this. That is so cool. Well, this is our last stop of the morning before heading to the library. We're at Otter Point. It was just about a little over 10 minutes south of Sisters Rock. It's a little colder and windier here, so we had to put some warmer clothes on and hats. We're ready to go check it out.
This looks like yet another great spot.
Otter Point State Recreation Site is a dramatic coastal overlook offering sweeping views of rugged cliffs, offshore sea stacks, and the powerful Pacific Ocean. Named for the sea otters once seen along this stretch of coast and hunted here in the 1800s, Otter Point is a popular spot for photography, whale watching during migration seasons, and for experiencing the raw, windswept beauty of southern Oregon's coastline. It sure would have been awesome to see some otters here, but we won't complain. The views were stunning.
Oh, look. Teve and Hodra.
Well, I said Otter Point was our last stop for the day before the library, but we actually saw a pull-off spot with a view of the ocean and we decided we'd make lunch here. So that's what we're doing. I'm making sandwiches and I am having these raspberries. I mentioned in the last episode, I found these at the grocery outlet for $1.25 a container. Can't beat that. Yum. Here you go.
Yummy, yummy. Thank you very much. So just enjoying some carrots, some baby carrots, and just got to thinking, these poor guys never got to grow up, never got to really experience life. Here I am, just eating them. Poor guys. Did you have family? And brothers or sisters? This bag should really come with some background on them.
Our work was interrupted at the library when we discovered these adorable critters hanging out right near our van, attracted to the flowers growing there. They were actually sitting still enough for me to capture some footage, something that's often quite a challenge with these quick little birds. Anna's hummingbirds are vibrant, year-round residents of the western United States, known for their bold personalities and shimmering colors. Males are especially striking with iridescent rose-pink feathers covering their head and throat that flash brilliantly in the sunlight, while females display softer green and gray tones. Their rapid wing beats, distinctive buzzing calls, and acrobatic flight displays make them a favorite sight in gardens, parks, and coastal landscapes where flowering plants provide a steady source of nectar. On the way out of the library at the end of the day, we happened upon another treat. These hilarious deer. Sadly, we missed capturing quite a bit of their antics, but we have never seen deer so playful.
So we put in a long day at the library, but we had quite the treat of wildlife. First it was the hummingbirds that really loved this little area to our right. And then as we were leaving, there was a bunch of deer. And boy, I've never seen deer play like that before. One especially was like doing karate kicks and stuff. That was pretty funny. It's quite the treat.
So it was so nice today that we got that bonus treat, or two treats at the library. Steve had gone outside to take a break and saw the hummingbirds, so then I went out and I could have spent forever if it hadn't been for having to do work. I think I got some pretty good footage and photos. Oh my gosh, are they so sweet. It's so fun watching them and listening to them. And then those deer were indeed hilarious. We were just leaving the library. We saw them just running around. I don't think I've ever seen deer with zoomies before. So now we were actually making our way to our overnight spot for the night, but we saw this great spot on the way. We decided to stop here and make dinner. It's pretty cold and windy outside, but it's really nice sitting in here now and getting a great view of the sunset. So I mentioned recently that I don't like my food to touch, typically. I just looked back in the back. Steve's reheating leftovers. And he's got our Chinese stir fry right next to our Italian pasta and sausage. He's gonna have to eat the part that's touching. morning, you guys. I feel like I'm starting to sound like a broken record. It's another beautiful morning on the Oregon coast. More sea stacks. Oh my goodness, is it amazing. Oh, I'm gonna miss this when we leave for sure. Oh, look what I found on this beach. So I just discovered that there are sand dollars on this beach. I don't think I have seen sand dollars since we were in Manzanita, and they were the tiny ones. These guys are pretty decent size. That's fun. Oh, this is cool. Look, I found some sea stars. Look, a purple one. Awesome. Man, look at this sucker. That's a big sea star. Look at that beach. So we are finishing up our time in Oregon today on the Samuel Boardman Scenic Corridor. And it has not disappointed. I'm not exactly sure where it officially starts, but since we left our overnight spot this morning, it has been absolutely gorgeous. Our first stop is at Arch Rock State Park. I think we're going to see an arch rock. The Samuel H. Boardman Scenic Corridor is a breathtaking stretch of protected coastline renowned for its rugged cliffs, natural bridges, hidden coves, and dramatic sea stacks. Spanning miles between Gold Beach and Brookings, the corridor showcases some of the most striking scenery on the Oregon coast. Short trails and scenic pullouts lead to viewpoints overlooking turquoise waters, arches, and secluded beaches. The corridor showcases wild beauty, diverse ecosystems, and ever-changing ocean views. So I think way in the distance there, all the rocks are where we were this morning. And here is Arch Rock. All right, you guys. So our next stop is a big secret. You can't tell anybody about it. It's actually Secret Beach. So I have read that this is a pretty steep trail. It's only like 5 to 10 minutes, but because it's steep, I'm actually wearing my hiking boots, and then I'm bringing my sandals with me so I can wear them on the beach. Hopefully, it'll be perfect. It's a little after low tide. Hopefully that's okay. So there's not a lot of parking here, and it's not marked at all. But I've heard it's pretty cool. I also read online in the reviews to go to the right, that it's a lot easier. To the left, it's slippier and much more steep. So far, this actually isn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it is a little bit packed down and smooth, so it might be a little slippery with my sandals, so I guess it was a good choice that I'm wearing my hiking boots. It's also a really great fashion statement. Wow. This is awesome. It is beautiful. Secret Beach is a secluded and picturesque cove treasured for its sense of discovery and untouched natural beauty. Reached by a short trail through the coastal forest, the beach opens to a dramatic scene of sea stacks, rocky outcrops, and turquoise water framed by steep cliffs. At low tide, tide pools emerge among the rocks, revealing colorful marine life and adding to the beach's quiet charm. With fewer crowds and striking scenery, Secret Beach offers a peaceful place to explore and experience the wild character of the southern Oregon coastline. This beach might not actually be a secret, but we had this secluded paradise all to ourselves to explore. It was so peaceful with the sound of the waves and the constant flow of the waterfall. Like so many other spots along the Oregon coast, we loved the towering sea stacks and interesting maze of dramatic rock formations. This beach is incredible. I'm a little disappointed. I think at low tide, if it was really low tide, we would have been able to get over there in that next area. I don't think we can get through that now, but at least it's pretty from here. Look how cool that is. As you can see, some rock scrambling is involved to get down and back up from this beach. This beach is definitely not for everyone, and my hiking shoes proved to come in quite handy. So that was a pretty great little hike this morning. I would say it took probably about 5 minutes to get down, 5 minutes back up, right?
More like 5 minutes down, 5 hours up.
This parking area is pretty small, so I imagine in the summer it probably fills up pretty quick, but we're here on a weekday in the fall, so we got lucky. We only saw, I think, 3 other people on our way down and back up. We had the whole beach to ourselves. It was pretty nice. Our next stop was Natural Bridge's Viewpoint, a spot that often shows up on social media, where powerful ocean forces have sculpted a series of rocky arches and bridges just offshore. There's a viewing deck where visitors can look down at waves surging through these natural formations and get glimpses of rugged cliffs, sea stacks, and the open Pacific. I see there's people on it right now. Trails lead to the bridges, and risk takers can venture onto the bridges for the perfect photo ops. Several people were taking photos on the bridge on this day, and we have seen numerous content creators doing the same. But signs are clearly posted warning people about continuing on the trail, as there have been fatal accidents over the years.
Well, I can't read so good, but I think that's as far as we're going to go on this trail anyway.
But there's no sign here, so we'll try this trail. pretty view. So we did the trail, a little bit of it. It was to the south of the parking area. Now we're trying the north side, but I'm not sure. Oh, it does look like, it looks like it goes for a while, but there's also a sign up here saying not to go down towards the bridges. So everybody that's down on the bridge, they're going past the naughty signs.
Shame, shame. Everybody knows your name.
So that's too bad, but I'm not gonna go past this sign. Erosion and other factors can lead to slippery conditions, and we chose not to disobey the signs and risk it. Look at that beach.
All right, so we just made a spur of the moment decision. Found a nice little pull off here. We're gonna go explore.
As is pretty typical for us, Steve found a nice spot to sit and take in the scenery while I ventured off to explore. This beach is yet another example of how unique each part of the Oregon coastline is. Here, instead of the typical sea stacks, big boulder-like formations were strewn across the beach. The Oregon coast stretches approximately 360 miles from the Columbia River at the north end to the California border at the south end, offering one of the most dramatic and scenic shorelines in the United States. Thanks to the landmark Oregon Beach Bill of 1967, all of the ocean shore from the low tide line to the vegetation line is held as a public easement, guaranteeing free and uninterrupted use of the beaches along the entire coastline. As a result, nearly all of Oregon's coastline is publicly accessible, with hundreds of formal beach access points spaced along the shore and countless informal paths providing opportunities to explore sandy beaches, tide pools, headlands, and estuaries. What a gift for residents and visitors alike. My kitty. You want a treat? Huh? You want a treat? You want some of these, huh? All right, there you go.
All right. Thank you.
We have had a pretty awesome morning, and now it's lunchtime before heading to the library. So there's a kitty in my seat right now in the front, so I'm eating my lunch in the back. She's so spoiled. Folks, do not try this at home. Do not drive and shave.
You should only do this if you're professional.
There's a van behind us. Is that gonna be a problem? Well, we spent a good 5+ hours at the library today, and it was like a refrigerator inside, so it feels very good to be outside. It was nice and warm when we left the library, and now we have made our last official Oregon stop. We are at Harris State Park, I believe it's called, and we have a fabulous view. We're going to make dinner and enjoy our last Oregon coast moments. Just a little bit windy here, though, compared to the library, huh? What you doing? Just checking things out? Huh?
Pizza delivery.
Oh, it smells amazing. Awesome. As our time on the Oregon coast comes to a close, we're so thankful for the months we have been able to spend here, for the incredible beauty, stunning landscapes, and fascinating wildlife. We have experienced so much joy as we have immersed ourselves in nature, and we've absolutely reveled in it. We don't ever want to lose that sense of wonder over the things God has created and the many gifts we have to enjoy all around us, no matter where we are. Whether on the beaches of Oregon, at a national park, in the wilderness, in a small town that many people have never heard of, or the downtown of a bustling city, there are beautiful things to see if you just slow down to look for them. Over the last couple months, we have really tried to slow down and absorb as much as we can. For our last night in this beautiful state, nature put on a spectacular show. It was cold and windy, but the colors of the sunset were dazzling, and it was fun to see all the people who stopped to watch as the sun set over the Pacific. What a perfect way to end this month-long adventure in Oregon. Well, sadly, we have said goodbye to Oregon. We have made our way to Crescent City in California, and we have found a spot for the night.
On our way here, we made a couple quick stops. We filled up with some relatively cheap gas. I think it was $3.90, which hopefully sounds like a lot to you. It certainly does to us, but relatively speaking to other gas stations here in California, that was quite the steal. And then we also made a much-needed snack stop at the grocery outlet.
So we absolutely loved our time in Oregon, as you probably can tell if you've been following along. Such an amazing place along the coast. We are definitely going to miss it. Some of the places that definitely stood out for us, just to name a few of them, was Astoria when we first started out.
And that's where they filmed the Goonies, which I really like.
So that was fun, and that whole area we loved, from Astoria down to Haystack, the Seastack, Cannon Beach, and Ecola State Park. And then some of our other favorite spots, Yaquina Head Outstanding Area, I think, natural area is what it's called, right near Newport. We loved seeing all the seals and sea lions and sea life there. That whole area was just awesome. I also loved the dunes between Florence and Coos Bay. And then, of course, Bandon. Love Bandon. That was our last video. And then the area we saw today was also pretty awesome. The Samuel Boardman Scenic Corridor. The whole way, there were just incredible views with all the sea stacks and views, and we had a great time at Secret Beach and all that. So it was pretty fantastic. So we hope you follow along as we explore Canada, California.
I knew I made a wrong turn somewhere.
As we explore California, and we hope you join us for that adventure.
This is where we're going to leave you for this episode. As always, we'd love hearing from you, so drop us a comment below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the like button. And until next time, we'll see you.
See you guys. If you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron by using the link on the screen that we've also included in the video description, along with information about today's adventure and our channel. A special thank you to all our patrons. We appreciate your ongoing support. Thanks for coming along with us on this van life adventure. Please take a second to hit the like button below, leave a comment to let us know you're watching, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget, you can also connect with us and see my photos of the places we visit on our Facebook and Instagram.